Greetings stranger, you found me currently gambling with the undead for a run of damage. In my journey to finish games I purchased 5 years ago, I found myself playing The Vagrant. Also known as Sword of the Vagrant, is a video game that I initially think was a 2-hour game, and now I have 26 hours and have unlocked all achievements. At its premise, The Vagrant is a hack-and-slash side-scroller developed by OTK Games, inspired by titles from Vanillaware like Muramasa and Dragon's Crown. The game takes place in a dark fantasy setting and it follows the story of Vivian, a sellsword who is headed to the island of Mithrila for motives that will be discussed later. It goes without saying, but all the environments and characters are drawn by hand and it looks beautiful. May I say, captivate. I also think it's important to mention this game came from a Kickstarter campaign that only reached 40% of its goal, but in the end managed to put a decent product to market. The game is a side-scroller, where you slash your way from one objective to the next, the end. But seriously, you are here to find your family and in consequence, get dragged to be someone's errand girl who actually achieves more than the actual intern. Believe me. In terms of mechanics, we also have some combos with light and heavy attacks, which are unlocked through earning mana. Mana is used to upgrade weapons and unlock stat boosts and finishers. It's also a form of currency in the later parts of the game. If you didn't pay attention while playing, you might also skip the fact that you can upgrade the central node multiple times. This is the only way to upgrade your lockstar. What does it do? Well, I have no idea. Rage is a special meter that allows Vivian to use different abilities. Some are just better than others, because Power Upper propels you upwards and Tornado Slash is just free damage. Defeating an enemy gives you mana, gold, food, and sometimes gear and ingredients like eggs, butter, and of course, meat, that came from an Iron Maiden. These are used to cook food at specific locations and give permanent buffs until you eat something else, and then the buff is replaced. Potions are self-explanatory. Some have a cooldown and others don't for some reason. The developers are unsure if they actually want to poison you, because every enemy and obstacle that can afflict its toxins in you drops an antidote for some reason. In the Kickstarter page they had plans for multiple characters, pets and other features that didn't make it out, and the designs were different. Story. We begin with Vivian traveling across the sea, driven by the sentiment of returning with her father, after he mysteriously disappeared while going to the store in search of a pack of camel blues. While contemplating about her quest, our ship gets boarded by Vanos Gaming, who warns us about the dangers of our quest. Also, there are skeletons in the ship, so we get a combat tutorial. I have heard people say that the combat is clunky and unresponsive, and that's probably in part because the swing speed is 1, not a list stat, and 2, there are not many fast weapons. Our boat gets hit by the storm and goes off the straw. Vivian survives this, how could she not, and wakes up on the shore of a small town. She saves a woman named Lucia, who requests us to protect her to the next town over. And so, Vivian's quest for the whereabouts of his father begins. We get info dump with pop-ups, the best way of using tutorials. Areas are blocked by context barriers. If you can go somewhere, it's because the story hasn't reached that point. Speaking with the townsfolk, we learn that Lucia is getting an arranged marriage. If it wasn't clear what the developers were going for with Vivian's attire, it's now but confirmed within a minute of walking. I personally find the journal a very useful feature because one time I played a game after a substantial break and got no clue what I was supposed to do after. However, some of the entries are incomplete, so look out for those. In the forest, Lucia confirms the arrangement and tells us about escaping with his true love. She also reveals that she has 2 brothers the one blocking the main way now, and the younger brother named Candy, who also takes part of the Wizard Academy. Unfortunately, her lover gets stabbed, so in retaliation, Lucia sends Vivian back with a message. However, the village is attacked by a Soul Reaper, and a battle ensues. Vivian is defeated, but gets saved by a witch, just in time. Holborn, Witch of Veride, and with her is Canden. After a talk, we get sent to an ancient battlefield. There we fight the first real boss, which mauled me for half an hour. Bosses in this game have achievements for losing against them, but only some of them. Once defeated, they gave me the ability to farm for runes, which I did not realize until the last moments of the game. We go back to town, get cores, and get sent to a quest for a bracelet. I don't know what I did, but I got them very fast. I only record the glitch when it happened. And that's what we have for the story, because the script is getting long. So I have to skip how to get signed at the Critics' Choice Award and let you experience it yourself. My main critique with the story is that the Academy is allured a lot and Vivian only finds one person associated with them. For not finishing their Kickstarter goal, they reach a fairly priced game, and the labor shows. I got all achievements on Steam, and some of them are easy, but others ask you to do a monotonous task, or one is completely RNG. If you, like I, plan on doing 100%, you should just play the game on normal, get the Sword of Verum, and then choose to play very hard on New Game Plus. By the way, the path to the best sword in the game is blocked by a bullshit child. This room is impossible to not get a hit. I think I saw a review saying that this game is a bad Metroidvania, and to that I say, this game is not a Metroidvania at all. There are traces, but the game doesn't do much backtracking with the exception of the true ending and farming resources. If you reached this far, subscribe for more. This video was meant to be very short, but now I have over 20 hours and the script is over 1,000 words. I honestly can't wait for the developer's new game, so I can play a game as Vivian, twice. Conclusion. Hello again. All of the audio until this point has been recorded with a different setup and sounds like shit. So, as I was saying, even though the page on Steam proclaims to have nudity, there is none. So I am giving it a 1 out of 10. I am joking. I recommend it if what you want is to play something for a few hours. Expect better audio quality from here, but not too great. I am still figuring it out, and hopefully the next video doesn't take me 3 more. So I guess bye.